From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
It's Friday, October 2nd, and right now on Good Morning Indiana.
Obviously, all hoping we in the first wave don't develop much in the way of symptoms.
Developing overnight, President Trump and First Lady Melania Trump have tested positive for the coronavirus. What we know about their conditions and the impact it could have on the election. While many businesses are struggling, a Broad Ripple-based tech company is seeing a boost. This morning, how the pandemic is increasing their business and their plan to hire Hoosiers.
One of the things we tried to really impress upon our kids and our families, we don't exist to compete. That's not why we do band.
The Greenfield Central Marching Band was the 2019 state champions, but this year, they don't have the chance to defend their title. How they are staying positive despite a disappointing season.
On this Friday, welcome to Good Morning Indiana. I'm Rafael Sanchez from your official living room here in Johnson County as we continue to social distance. Our good friends Lauren and Todd, they're sleeping in, but the best and most talented weekend crew is in the house today. Please say good morning to my friends Nicole Griffin and meteorologist Kyle Mounts. Guys, good morning. It is great to have you here on Good Morning Indiana.
Yeah, Rafael, thank you so much for having us. Happy to be here on a Friday morning. And Kyle, stepping out the door on this Friday, it's definitely feeling like fall outside.
Yeah, feels like October, doesn't it? We got temperatures that are now into the 30s. So you need to layer up. You got to put away that summer wardrobe and get the layers because we got 38 degrees in the city now. It is 40 in Lafayette and 39 in Bloomington. Fortunately, the wind is fairly light out there, but a little bit of fog in the Lafayette area. Satellite and radar, very quiet. You can see a few of those rain showers off of Lake Michigan. Those should mainly stay off to the north. It's the same kind of thing we would expect to see with some lake effect snow. The water temperatures are actually warmer than the air temperatures this morning, and that's producing those showers. For us, though, we will start off the day with some sunshine. Clouds increase this afternoon, but look how cool it's going to stay. Highs only around 60 degrees. As we look ahead to your weekend, 61, partly sunny on Saturday. Some showers in that Sunday forecast. We'll detail that hour by hour in a few minutes, but right now, Nicole has a check of your Friday morning drive.
And Kyle, we want to say good morning to everyone waking up with us in Greenwood. Traffic in this area is moving without any delays, but we do want to alert you to a construction project just north of this location here. The on-ramp from Southport Road to northbound I-65 is closed for construction. That will last until December 1st. However, you can get onto I-65 northbound from County Line Road. We are continuing to follow developing news from the White House. Overnight, President Trump announcing he and First Lady Melania Trump have tested positive for COVID-19.
This is really the big story of the day around the world. This announcement comes just hours after Hope Hicks, one of the president's top advisors, also tested positive for COVID-19. White House aides have called Mr. Trump the most tested man in the country, although he was repeatedly downplayed mask wearing and social distancing. Health officials calling the news concerning as the president is an age group that carries a risk for severe complications, also noting the potential for exposure to those around him is extremely high.
It's obviously unsettling, but I'm not surprised given the contagiousness of this virus and what have been the lax protocols.
The number of people that could potentially be exposed and at risk of contracting this virus is significant here.
Several of the president's upcoming scheduled events have now been canceled, including a rally in Florida and Wisconsin. It's unclear whether the second presidential debate will go on as scheduled. That was set for October the 15th. We will, of course, here at WRTV continue to monitor this developing story and keep you updated both on air and online. We want to now take a look at how the pandemic is impacting Hoosiers right here in Indiana. Another 1,171 Hoosiers have tested positive for the virus. As you can see, positive cases have been trending upward since Tuesday. State health officials also report 13 new Hoosier deaths, and that's 7 less than the previous day. Since the pandemic began, 3,418 Hoosiers have died with COVID-19. The state remains in pretty good shape when it comes to how well our hospitals are prepared to deal with a potential surge in coronavirus cases. As of this morning, 38% of our ICU beds are available. Just under 12% are being used by COVID patients. As for ventilators, around 80% are available. 3.5% are being used by COVID patients.
As we continue to monitor the state's resources, health officials are keeping a close eye on the number of COVID cases and the number of flu cases concerned over a possible twindemic. We spoke with an ER physician from St. Vincent. He tells us he's worried people will come to the emergency room thinking they've contracted COVID-19 when they are experiencing mild flu symptoms, and that influx of patients could overwhelm hospitals.
We may be inundated or overrun with patients who may otherwise have stayed home with mild flu symptoms pouring into our emergency departments with influenza that could have been managed at home.
Well, that is why doctors are encouraging everyone to get a flu vaccine to help keep emergency rooms clear for those who really need to be there. If you are in need of a flu shot, the Marion County Public Health Department is offering a series of low-cost flu clinics this month. Vaccines cost $20 for adults and children 2 and older. Shots for children under 2 are free. Medicare and Medicaid are accepted. The first will be happening today at the Health Department's South District Health Office at 7551 South Shelby Street from 9 a.m. until 4 p.m. The second is Wednesday, October 7th at Old Bethel Church at 7995 East 21st Street from 9 a.m. until noon. These are all walk-in clinics, and we do have a complete list of flu shot opportunities right now at WRTV.com.
Around our state, the pandemic has really put a stop to many events. This morning, WRTV's Kelsey Anderson joins us live from Hancock County with how one group is staying positive despite a disappointing season. Kelsey, good morning.
Hey, good morning. So the Greenfield Central Marching Band, they spent the entire summer working on a new show and practicing it to hopefully defend their 2019 state title this year. But now that that marching band is canceled, they don't get a chance to defend their title. But last night they did get a chance to showcase some of their best work and walk down memory lane. So here's a look at that video from last night's performance where the concert bands and the marching bands got to showcase their best work in what might be their only live performance this year. They also took time last night to honor their seniors, something that's usually done at football games.
One of the things we tried to really impress upon our kids and our families, you know, we don't exist to compete. That's not why we do band. Competing is a piece of what we do, but my job as the band director isn't to win state championships. My job is, through music, to make these kids better people.
Now, I did speak to several seniors, and they say while this isn't the ending to their band career that they were looking for or hoped for, they are glad they did get some form of closure. So coming up in the next half hour, you're going to hear from some of those seniors on what this season means to them. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Now, Kelsey, thank you so much. Rehearsals are finally over as we go digging for diamonds tonight. Dress for Success of Indianapolis is holding its annual dig and fashion show virtually beginning at 7:30 this evening. It will be a virtual event and everyone is invited to join. Carmel-based Aronstam Jewelers donated $30,000 in jewels for the dig. Winners of the dig will be announced during the virtual event. Good luck to all. Now let's check in with our Kyle Mounts as we get ready for the weekend. Kyle, will this weekend be something to enjoy?
At least to start things off, Raphael, we got some chilly temperatures out there this morning, and we could start off our weekend with some patchy frost in parts of central Indiana. We're going to break down your weekend forecast, also talk about those chances for rain coming back as well. You're watching Good Morning Indiana on WRTV. The time, 6:09.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 6:12. This is a live look this morning at I-465 at West 46th Street. We are not monitoring any crashes, so if you're heading out the door, it should be a smooth morning commute. A Broad Ripple-based tech company is behind an effort to help students who, during this pandemic, are spending more time remote learning.
And of course, the Rebound Indiana is all about making sure that you get beyond the pandemic. Our commitment here at WRTV, Nicole. Amanda Starantino this morning explains how the pandemic is creating a demand to hire more Hoosiers.
This could be a really great tool for our students. We know that students will watch a video for a couple minutes, more so than they'll read a long email.
Ginny Leonard started relying on the video messaging service from CoVideo in August. As the Director of Student Success and Retention at Ivy Tech, the tool helps her connect with students when in-person FaceTime is not an option.
Especially when you serve a large population of first-generation students, you know, they need to feel like this is a place where they belong and that they have people here to support them. And putting a face with a name makes a huge difference.
You would think by their name that they're a company birthed from the COVID-19 pandemic, but actually CoVideo has been around for 15 years and has 30,000 customers around the world.
Many universities have moved to online learning, which gets in the way of that face-to-face interaction that students typically have with their professors or teachers. And so universities are using this to maintain that FaceTime and keep students engaged.
Just in the last 6 months, CoVideo has added 50 colleges and universities to their clientele. According to CoVideo's database, video engagement has increased by 40% since March. With more business, the video messaging company needs more Hoosiers for their team.
We were prepared, yes, but we are also hiring. So, we're hiring on all fronts, sales side, support, developers, just with the increase, not even just colleges and universities, but industries and professionals across the board are turning to video, and so we are ramping up.
It's a tool to keep people connected and engaged as we rebound into this new way of working and learning.
We know that by sending a personalized video email, first of all, if you put the word video and a person's first name in the subject line, you're going to increase your open rates by 19%. If you open that email and you see someone in the body of the email waving, smiling, they've got a whiteboard with your name on it, you're going to see an increase upward of 65%. But the biggest impact is your response rate. So these videos, they're easy to create, they make a lasting impression, and we've seen an increase of 200% for response rates.
In Indianapolis, Amanda Starantino, WRTV News.
Amanda, thank you. If CoVideo seems like a good fit to you, check out this story on our website, WRTV.com. Managers at CoVideo say if business keeps increasing at the pace that it is now, they will be hiring moving into next year as well. And if you're just waking up and joining us this morning, Kyle, it's a little chilly out there on this Friday.
Yeah, hopefully you turned the heat on inside last night. Otherwise, it's probably a little cool inside the house as well. We have dropped down to 38 now in Indianapolis. It's 35 in Greenfield, Richmond at 38 degrees, and Bloomington, you're in the upper 30s as well. Certainly going to need to turn the heat on in the car this morning. Grab a jacket before you head out. Temperatures are going to hold around 40 degrees here through 8 a.m. and then we'll gradually climb, getting into the lower 50s by 11 o'clock this morning. So we are going to start off with a lot of sunshine. As we go into the second half of your Friday, though, we'll build in a few more clouds, not unlike yesterday. However, I don't think we're going to have those pop-up showers like we had Thursday afternoon. Temperatures going to make their way around 60 degrees, about 10 degrees below average for this time of year. We'll be in the middle 50s already as we get to 8 o'clock this evening. So if you are heading out for some of those football games, layer up, maybe take the blanket along with you. Temperatures 63 this afternoon in Bloomington. A little cooler here in northeastern locations around Richmond and Muncie. I think that's where we'll have a little more cloud cover as we still have that fetch off of Lake Michigan. The showers, though, should stay out of the WRTV area. And then tonight, that kind of sets the stage for possibly some of that patchy frost in those same locations. Should be a little warmer, though, as we increase the cloud cover around Indianapolis at 42, 43 degrees for you in Bloomington, and Lafayette around 40. So it's still going to be a cool start to the day on Saturday. As we look at the forecast, more clouds will be around here as well, but a dry start to the weekend with temperatures making their way back into the lower 60s. So again, feeling very much like our Friday afternoon. What changes on Sunday is more clouds. We'll still have those, but also the chance for some scattered rain showers. You notice here with TrueCast, not a whole lot of activity going on the first half of the day. As we get into the afternoon, though, a few more of those showers will be developing. all on the scattered and light side for us. In fact, only adding up to maybe a quarter to about a third of an inch, the way the models are kind of picking up on this right now. And you know, our last rainfall event that we had earlier in the week didn't get a whole lot of drought relief with that one either. Once this one goes by the side, looks like we're going back into some dry weather. Temperatures, though, very cool on Sunday at just 56 degrees. We do moderate a little bit, feeling a bit better as we go into next week. We are going to start off, though, Monday morning at 39. Some patchy frost possible there. We're back in the 60s for highs, around 70 degrees by Tuesday and Wednesday. Nicole?
All right, Kyle, thank you. Good morning to everyone waking up with us in Fishers. This is a live look at I-69 near 96th Street. Traffic moving just fine along the interstate this morning. We do want to alert you to a quick construction project just east of this area. 96th Street is closed east of Sargent Road all the way to Cumberland Road. The closure is for a bridge replacement. The road is expected to reopen next month. Early voting in Indiana begins next week, and it's not just the president you'll be voting for. There are several key elections, and we want to help you get informed about the candidates. Indiana will be voting for a new attorney general. Incumbent Curtis Hill lost his re-election bid as the Republican candidate to face off against Democrat Jonathan Weinzaffel. The Republican contender is former U.S. Representative Todd Rokita. We sat down with him to talk about why he's running and the issues he thinks are most important this year.
We have to continue to protect against federal government overreach, help Donald Trump make sure that the agencies are reined in, and protect against the negative impact from liberal states around us, because their attorneys general can use the court system to over-regulate us. I'm the only one in this race that has prosecuted criminals, and then we had 300 years of jail time from when I was your Secretary of State, working with the Prosecution Assistance Unit and local prosecutors to secure that jail time. The only one who's fought to have a case all the way to the United States Supreme Court.
Well, you can watch our entire interview with Todd Rokita by clicking on this story right now on WRTV.com and the News app. And tonight we will hear from the former Evansville Mayor Jonathan Weinzaffel, who is the Democratic nominee.
Our Democracy 2020 coverage continues right now on Good Morning Indiana. And as you know, voter turnout could break records across the country this year, which means you could be waiting in long lines even if you go and vote early. This year, there's a new website to help track wait times for Marion County polling sites in real time. It's called Indy Vote Times, and it's hosted by a group called Vote Safe Indiana. When early voting begins next Tuesday, the website will start clocking current wait times at voting centers across the county to help alleviate those long lines. With an even bigger voter turnout expected this year, Vote Safe Indiana wants to make sure that people know their options and what the lines may look like even before leaving their front door.
If you still need to register to vote, Ivy Tech is offering help. They are hosting a voter registration drive-through event. It goes from 9 this morning to 6 this evening at the campus on Fall Creek Parkway. That's between Illinois and Capitol. You can also register online right now at indianavoters.in.gov. The deadline to register to vote is Monday, October 5th. And here are some dates you will want to keep in mind. Early voting begins Tuesday, October 6th. The deadline to request an absentee ballot is October 22nd. It must be received by noon on Election Day, which is November 3rd. WRTV is your source for everything you need to know before November 3rd. Go to our Vote in 2020 digital section. You'll find all you need to know there, including who's on your ballot, where you can vote and when, how early voting works and when it starts, what mailing in your vote looks like, and any other questions you might have this election season. Keep a tab open at WRTV.com/vote in 2020.
Nicole, that is a great resource. A simple act of kindness from a grandfather is now going viral. In today's Trending 6, how his love of baseball is warming hearts across the country.
And if you're ready to pack your bags for a vacation, well, you may want to think twice before using a budget site to book that hotel room. What you need to know so you don't waste your money.
And let's take a live look outside as we take a look at this. This is, of course, the harvest moon and also the planet Mars in this live look. Here at WRTV, we give you full service, right? But a big good morning right now to Muncie, Mooresville, and Morgantown, all great places to call home. You're watching Good Morning Indiana right here on this Friday on WRTV.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. We are keeping a close eye on the roads this morning. This is a live look right now at I-70 at Rural and Keystone, where you can see traffic is picking up, but no crashes to report at this hour. We will continue monitoring this for you all morning long. But now it is time to talk about some of the stories, Raphael, that are trending this morning. An Alabama man left a bucket of baseballs at a local batting cage with a note that read in part, "Hope someone can use some of these baseballs. I pitched them to my son and grandson for countless rounds. My son is now 46 and my grandson is 23. I am 72 and what I won't give to pitch a couple of buckets to them." Well, the note went on to say, if you're a grandfather, cherish these times and you won't believe how quickly they will be gone. His simple gesture went viral after his grandson posted these pictures on Twitter. And you will be happy to know, Raphael, that his grandson says they will be going to the cages soon. I feel kind of bad for him.
Awesome. No, listen, now everyone in America is going to now want to travel to Alabama, right? And say, come on, Grandpa.
It's a happy ending.
That ball. That's a very happy ending. A big congratulations to morning to Miss Julie Petter. Julie is today's hometown hero. She's the executive director of Dress for Success Indianapolis. She leads the group that helps women find jobs and offer workshops to help women move up the career ladder. Tonight is the group's annual fundraiser, which of course will be virtual, so join them tonight at 7:30. Now time to check your forecast on this Friday with meteorologist Kyle Mounts. Kyle, good morning.
And good morning to you, Raphael. You're going to need to dress warmly this morning as you head out the door. We got temperatures that are starting off in the 30s. So that'll be a little shock as you step out and get ready for this Friday. 38 in Indianapolis and Kokomo, 39 degrees in Bloomington. Very quiet weather. We're actually tracking some areas of fog. You can see that visibility under a mile now in the Lafayette and Frankfort areas and under 2 miles as we get into areas around Delphi and Monticello for you this morning. Kids heading out to the bus stop, certainly take that jacket with temperatures in the upper 30s. Still going to need it as they head home as well. Partly cloudy skies and 59. If you're going to be heading off to IMS for the Harvest GP this afternoon, we'll have temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees with partly cloudy skies. Nicole?
Kyle, thank you. If you're starting to think about traveling again, well, you may want to think twice before booking non-refundable hotel rooms on travel sites. Consumer reporter John Mattery shows us a big downside of prepaying during this pandemic, so you don't waste your money.
By now, most people who had to cancel a vacation due to the pandemic have either received a refund or a credit. But some people who booked non-refundable hotel rooms are still fighting to get their money back. Sarah Pruitt and her best friend had planned a St. Patrick's Day trip to Savannah.
We booked a hotel through Expedia. Unfortunately, with COVID-19, our events got canceled.
But trying to get her $400 back turned into a nightmare.
And we were on and off hold for 8 hours with Expedia, and to no avail, we decided to dispute the charge with the credit card company.
But her card refused because it was a non-refundable room. These days, the lowest price in a hotel room is almost always a non-refundable price, no matter where you get that room. And that means if you have any issue or problem, it can be almost impossible to get your money back. Expedia and other travel sites started refunding trips affected by the national shutdown, but Sarah's trip was a week earlier. So she tried the hotel, but no luck there either. What did the hotel tell you when you called them?
The manager at the hotel stated they basically sell their rooms to Expedia, and then Expedia owns the room for that night.
Travel forums have hundreds of complaints about people unable to get money back from prepaid discount rooms. But non-refundable means you lose what you pay.
Non-refundable rooms I would not suggest at all. They put a lot of loopholes on them.
This is a great reminder of the risk of always grabbing the lowest price, especially during a pandemic, so you don't waste your money. I'm John Mattery. Good morning, Indiana.
From the station working for you, this is Good Morning Indiana, streaming now.
Now on Good Morning Indiana on this Friday morning, here's a look at your 6:30 news feed. A high-speed chase beginning in Shelby County ends across the state line. The chase lasted nearly 80 miles into Cincinnati, Ohio. Police say the chase finally ended when the driver got stuck in a cul-de-sac. That driver now faces multiple criminal charges. 3 police vehicles were also sideswiped in the chase, but no injuries were reported.
More scrutiny for President Trump's Supreme Court nominee. Notre Dame law professor Amy Coney Barrett signed onto a 2-page newspaper ad from Right to Life St. Joseph County in 2006. The ad called for an end to what the anti-abortion group called the, quote, the barbaric legacy of Roe v. Wade. The ad was not included in Barrett's questionnaire given to the Senate Judiciary Committee.
And despite recent rain, much of the Hoosier state is still experiencing drought conditions. Here's a look at the latest drought monitor. It shows much of the state is abnormally dry and portions of northeast Indiana and west central Indiana in a moderate drought. Nearly a dozen counties in our state have issued burn bans because of those dry conditions. Welcome to Good Morning Indiana, a big news day here on this Friday. We are monitoring what's happening at the White House as well as our weekend forecast. Nicole, good morning.
Raphael, good morning. So glad to be here on a Friday. And with meteorologist Kyle Mountain. Kyle, stepping out the door, you're definitely going to want to grab that jacket. Be prepared to turn on that heat in the car.
Yeah, and maybe leave the flip-flops at home today. You know.
That's to me, guys. Guilty.
Well, yeah, you can leave those as you head out the door this morning. You might want to grab the sunglasses, though, along with that jacket. We are going to have some sunshine as we start off the day. Temperatures, though, remaining cool. Our high only going to get around 60 this afternoon. Same story on Saturday before it gets a little bit cooler yet on Sunday. That will come with some rain showers in the forecast, but it does look like temperatures will moderate, get a little closer to that 71-degree average here as we go into early next week. In fact, as we look at the forecast here for the month of October, that precipitation outlook shows that we're not going to get a lot of help here from that drought monitor that Raphael was just talking about. We're expecting below average precipitation. Temperatures, no strong signal either way, but we do have that warm up. We'll talk more about that coming our way in a few minutes. But right now, Nicole has a check of your Friday morning traffic.
Yeah, Kyle, this is a live look at I-465 at West 86th Street. We have no problems to report this morning on this Friday. No crashes or delays, but we will continue monitoring any developments all morning long here on Good Morning Indiana. We do want to begin with the stunning news from overnight. President Trump tweeting that both he and First Lady Melania Trump have tested positive for COVID-19.
It is the big story of the day around the world. This news comes just hours after the announcement late Thursday that one of the president's top advisors had also tested positive for COVID-19. ABC's Alex Prochet is in Washington with the very latest on this Friday morning.
This morning, the coronavirus pandemic reaching the Oval Office. President Trump tweeting overnight, the First Lady and I tested positive for COVID-19. We will begin our quarantine and recovery process immediately. We will get through this together. The First Lady adding, as too many Americans have done this year, the President and I are quarantining at home. Please be sure you are staying safe and we will get through this together. The White House physician saying both are well and they plan to remain at home within the White House. Late Thursday, President Trump announced plans to quarantine after one of his closest advisors, Hope Hicks, tested positive for the coronavirus. Sources telling ABC News Hicks is experiencing symptoms. The president saying this on Fox News.
You know Hope very well. She's fantastic, and she's done a great job. But it's very, very hard when you are with people from the military or for law enforcement, and they come over to you, and they want to hug you, and they want to kiss you because we really have done a good job for them. And you get close, and things happen.
She had traveled with the president multiple times this week, including that trip to Cleveland Tuesday for the first presidential debate. Sources also telling ABC News Hicks tested positive the following day. President Trump mocked Joe Biden for wearing a mask at that debate.
I don't wear masks like him. Every time you see him, he's got a mask. He could be speaking 200 feet away from it. He shows up with the biggest mask I've ever seen.
He's also admitted to downplaying the virus and has held rallies that defy his own White House coronavirus guidelines. The president just said this on Thursday.
We're on track to develop and distribute a vaccine before the end of the year, and maybe substantially before. And I just want to say that the end of the pandemic is in sight.
Throughout this pandemic, more than 7 million people have been diagnosed with the coronavirus in the U.S., and more than 207,000 have died. Another question going forward is, what does this do to the Trump campaign? The White House released a revised schedule for this weekend. That controversial rally scheduled for Wisconsin has been canceled. Alex Prochet, ABC News, Washington.
As we continue our coverage of this developing story, there are still some unanswered questions. One of them is, whether Vice President Mike Pence has been tested for coronavirus recently or whether he will have to go into quarantine. This morning, the Twitter account of the former Indiana governor sent out this post saying Mr. Pence and his wife Karen were praying for the full recovery of the president and the First Lady. He's also among many who have had close contact with the president at meetings and events where most attendees do not wear masks.
COVID-19 numbers remain elevated in Indiana, and one particular number continues to slowly rise. The state health department's latest report shows 1,171 new coronavirus cases. That brings the total number in Indiana to more than 121,000. 13 additional deaths were also reported, but the number that has some of health officials worried is this one. The positive test rate continues to slowly climb. The 7-day average is now up to 4.3% for all tests and 7.3% for unique individuals. That average was below 7% just 5 days ago.
They were not going to let the pandemic interrupt their final notes. Next on Good Morning Indiana, our Kelsey Anderson has a story of students making sure that they end the season on a high note. We want to thank you for starting your morning with Good Morning Indiana. The time now is 6:36 on WRTV. Nicole and I welcome you back to Good Morning Indiana. And of course, all of our lives in some way have been interrupted or delayed because of the pandemic. That's especially true for students across Indiana who, of course, have been dealing with this every single day, Nicole.
Yeah, the pandemic ended Indiana's high school marching band competition season before it even started. But our Kelsey Anderson is live in Hancock County this morning with how one group is turning disappointment into a positive experience. Kelsey.
Hey, good morning. So the Greenfield Central Marching Band, last year they won the state championship. And of course, now this year they're not getting that chance to defend their title. But last night they took to their football field to showcase some of their best work and take a walk down memory lane.
Definitely different. It's not what any of us were expecting or hoping for. Just like, even though it wasn't really meant to end this way, I'm kind of glad it gets some form of an ending.
It's our little piece of normal and all the craziness.
2019 state champions, ready to defend their title this year.
We thought we were going to have a normal season. We had an entirely new show planned out, but then everything got canceled.
The official band season may be canceled, but that doesn't mean the music has to stop. Last night, the band took to the field to take a walk down memory lane and showcase the work they've done over the years.
So we took the end of our 2017 show, which was these seniors' freshman year, and the end of last year's show, and we're doing kind of a little bit of a walk down memory lane, where they started and the state championship show.
Band director Chris Wing says, while competing is fun, that's not what being a part of this team is about.
Competing is a piece of what we do, but my job as the band director isn't to win state championships. My job is, through music, to make these kids better people.
As for the seniors, they're glad that they get a little sense of closure.
Honestly, I'm just glad we get to do something when there's like a whole lot of marching bands that don't have anything going on.
So this is special for us here at WRTV because our producer Ray Steele, his daughter was one of those seniors last night who was honored at that event. He says that the band surprised them by all walking out in their band uniforms, something they thought they weren't going to be able to do this year. He says it was a very emotional night to say goodbye to those seniors. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Kelsey, thank you so much. Bars, restaurants, entertainment venues in Marion County can start applying for HELP grants beginning on October the 15th. The acronym HELP, it stands for the Hospitality Establishment Lifeline Payment. Eligible businesses can be reimbursed up to $25,000 for rent or mortgage costs from April through December of this year. Now on Thursday, Mayor Joe Hogsett also announced a separate $1 million fund to help businesses get through the winter.
Outdoor seating continues to be the safest route for restaurants, bars, and venues. We want to help establishments in Marion County make any adjustments they can to keep this practice going. Grants of up to $2,500 can be used to cover the cost for outdoor heaters, canopies, tables, and chairs, or frankly, other PPE.
The application process goes through November the 6th. Eligibility requirements and more details can be found at response.indychamber.com/help grants for this critical program.
Well, COVID-19 called unexpected timeouts on a number of seasons, but up next we'll show you one baseball league where the love of the game is more powerful than the pandemic. Kyle.
And as we look ahead to the weekend, you got some plans. You might want to focus those on Saturday. We've got dry weather there in 61, 56 with some showers on Sunday. We'll break down that timeline. It is 6:43. You're watching Good Morning Indiana.
Welcome back to Good Morning Indiana. It is 6:45. This is a live look this morning at I-465 at West 38th Street, where you can see traffic is moving up to speed. No crashes or delays so far to start your Friday. But in a few minutes, we will fill you in on a traffic alert for Hancock County drivers. COVID-19 has canceled many events and upended many plans, and that includes sports, both the big leagues as well as teams right here at home.
So, Nicole, a local Little League scrambled to reschedule their season. Let me take you to Greenwood, not too far from my living room here in Franklin, where volunteer coaches are leading several innings of inspiration.
Nice hit, Brian.
Brian Canfield, with his dad at his side, likes to cover all his bases. He enjoys sports, time with his guitar, and getting together with his friends Nicholas Myers, Noah Bisland, Isabel Jones, and Leighton Runyon.
Now batting for the Cardinals, Jonah Harris.
Go, go, go! It's normal for them. They don't think anything different. They don't think they're different from anybody. They just come out here and play.
They're among the 35 athletes that make up the Challenger League. Players ranging from 5 to 27 years old with special needs. Every game is about an hour. There are no outs. Everyone bats every inning, which could be as many as 3.
I just love being out here and playing baseball.
Out on the field, volunteers help as needed. This league was canceled this past spring due to the pandemic. Instead of waiting until next year, the decision was made to play ball this fall because the athletes were eager to be back with their teammates.
He loves to be outside and be with everybody else, and he just loves to play.
On this diamond, you'll find many gems on teams called Pirates, Reds, Cardinals, and Dodgers. Athletes who in the sunlight or under the big lights simply shine.
Give everyone a chance. It doesn't matter your ability. You always can put your heart to something and make it worthwhile and fun.
Great hit, Jamie. Nice job.
Amazing athletes there in Greenwood. In fact, the Greenwood Little League, which is a private organization, plans to bring back the league next spring and possibly even next fall. The plan is for one group for young kids and one for the older kids, because this year they all sort of played together. Unfortunately, Nicole and Kyle, the season ended last Friday. It was simply amazing. You know, we often use the words like joy and pride and happiness. If you could have been there with me in the stands, the smile of every athlete was simply amazing. And that's why I called it innings of inspiration, because you walked away from that game thinking, you know what? Despite what's happening in the world, life is good.
Well, you could tell, too, by that one little girl that was like, I just love being out here. That was
She was
so
adorable.
Sweet.
Isabel, adorable,
Oh,
yeah.
I love that. Great story, Ruff. But, Ruff, it did look like your weather was a lot nicer in that video than what we're having today. A little chilly as we step out on this Friday, Kyle.
Yeah, and you know, we haven't felt this kind of chill for a while. 38 degrees right now in Indianapolis. That makes our coolest start since May 12th, so it has been many months, and I do think temperatures are going to start to moderate a little bit, but look at those numbers this morning. You got 36 in Greenfield, 38 in Terre Haute, 37 Sullivan, and you got upper 30s around Tipton and Lafayette. So yes, there is a chill out there with those clear skies and light winds. Temperatures this morning are going to hold in the upper 30s through about 8 o'clock this morning. Once we get that sunshine here, temperatures will start to warm just a little bit, but we are still in the 40s at 10 a.m. So the jacket you take with you early this morning, still going to need that really even into the afternoon, with numbers that'll top out around 60 degrees as we start to increase the clouds a little bit. Highs may not get out of the 50s though around Logansport, Marion, Muncie, and Kokomo, where I think you'll have a little more cloud cover coming off of Lake Michigan. We'll make it to around 60 in Indy and 63 in the Shelbyville area, and lower 60s here as we look from Spencer and Seymour at 63, 61 for your Friday afternoon in Greensburg. A look at TrueCast shows the sunshine this morning, but here come those clouds through the afternoon. Don't think we're going to see any rain out of those. Any of the wet weather staying well off to our north today, but the clouds tonight will act like a bit of a blanket, so we may not be quite as chilly going into tomorrow morning. That said, with those highs only in the 50s in northeastern locations this morning, tomorrow morning could have a little bit of that patchy frost with temperatures in the upper 30s. We'll call for a low of 42 in Indy and 43 in the Bloomington area. Our Saturday forecast does bring in more clouds across the area. It will remain on the cool side for this time of year with a high temperature of 61. And then on Sunday, the clouds stick around, but the showers are back in the forecast. This is not going to be a lot of rain for us. And you notice as we go into the afternoon, the coverage increases a little bit. So it will be a cool and damp second half of the weekend for us with those showers around. Right now, models generally coming in only about 1/10 of an inch to about 1/4 of an inch of rain is what we're expecting here as we go through the second half of our weekend. 7-day planning forecast now as we put it all together. Look at that high on Sunday, though. It's only going to be 56 degrees, so it is going to be very cool. May have some of that patchy frost going into Monday morning with temperatures in the upper 30s there as the skies begin to clear out. Sunshine returns next week, and so do some mild temperatures. We'll get into the upper 60s with some sunshine there on Tuesday. The lower 70s, at least for a day, should feel pretty good with those dry weather conditions continuing toward the end of the week.
All right, Kyle, thank you. We do have a traffic alert for drivers in Hancock County. This is a live look at I-70 at State Road 9. Traffic in this area is at a near standstill, and it has been like this for the past few days. Just west of this area is a construction project shifting traffic to the left lane. Traffic is slow from State Road 9 all the way to Mount Comfort Road, so you will want to keep that in mind and leave early if you can as you head out the door on this Friday. Meanwhile, around the metro area, no crashes to impact your Friday morning drive. We will have a look at your Good News Friday stories when Good Morning Indiana comes right back. It is time to wrap up the week with some news that we hope will make you smile. We begin Good News Friday with a Franklin student's thoughtful gift to her teacher and how it's helping that teacher through a tough chapter.
So math teacher Kyle Martin lost his father just a few weeks ago, which means his 3-year-old son lost his grandfather. And that's when Custer Baker Intermediate School student Emma McLean decided to give her teacher a handwritten note and a scrapbook. She writes that she too lost her grandfather at a young age, and what helped her keep his memory alive is a scrapbook filled with pictures to help her remember him. She continues by saying you can use this scrapbook to fill with pictures for you and your son Grant so that he can understand what a great man his papa was. Mr. Martin tells us he was overwhelmed with emotion and very appreciative of this thoughtful gift. Listen, that is simply amazing. Wow.
Yeah.
Good going, Emma. Nice job on this Friday. Wow.
Love that story. Well, some heartwarming video of a reunion 4 years in the making. Take a look at this. A refugee from Syria had waited that long for her husband to be able to follow her to the U.S. for resettlement. Finally, this past week, his case was finally approved and the couple was reunited. Their family shared this video of the reunion at the Indianapolis International Airport. The husband says he still cannot believe he is here and back with his wife. He said this: "I wasn't human before this. I feel like a human being again."
It is great to see people at the airport, right? I mean, I hate to be a stalker at the airport, but to see people hugging and loving on each other and just the embraces at the airport when families see each other is always a powerful thing.
Oh, yeah.
4 years in the making. That's
it's good
amazing.
to see that.
It is amazing.
Wow.
You
Yeah.
can tell.
All right, well, let's take a look at our Friday forecast, right? We got some changes, and as we've been talking about all morning, Nicole and Raphael, it has been a little cool out there. Temperatures this afternoon recovering upper 50s to around 60 degrees. We will build in a few clouds here as we go through the afternoon. And as you head out for some of those football games this evening, take the jacket and the blanket there. Temperatures will be in the 50s with mostly cloudy skies, but we'll keep it dry. Maybe you want to head out this weekend, enjoy some of that patchy color that we have across central Indiana. Well, the temperature's going to be a little cool here. We got some showers Sunday.
Kyle, thank you. We're back here in 25 minutes, and Good Morning America will have the very latest on the president and first lady testing positive for the coronavirus.